They said I never make it, just a name they overlook. Now I'm burning up their game plans and ripping up their books. No 5-star shine, no silver spoon. I came up grinding on a Friday night moves. Now they feel me coming like a 4th down blitz. Got them talking sideways, throwing fits. But I must admit, I can't quit. 'Cause I'm the outlaw of college football. Ain't no stripes can hold me back. I don't need their legacy or no booster money stack. I don't bow to no tradition. Ain't no handshake deals I need. I just play for pride, for fire, and the will to make them bleed. I ain't on your media darlings list. No Heisman hype, no clean-cut script. But every time that whistle blows, I leave my soul out on that road. They talk about dynasties and brands, but I built mine with my own hands. Ain't got no statue, no parade, just broken dreams and lines I've laid. I'm the outlaw of college football, the storm they never saw. I don't fit their pretty picture, but I still outrun them all. Don't need no love from ESPN, just a line to cross and dirt to win. Yeah, I'm the outlaw, the rebel in this brawl. I ain't here for fame or fortune, ain't no puppet on a string. I'm here to wreck their castles and crown myself a king. I'm the outlaw of college football.
Woo! As that last little sentence said, I'm here to crown myself a king. The two Crimson Nations are in the playoffs. Yes, and they're going to play each other too. So all those Oklahoma fans, the bad apples out there, you better hope y'all win, because I will fucking bring it back to you. Excuse my language. I'm cussing out the gate. Don't get us
Retribution
straight out the gate, man.
Retribution is a mother.
But man, Notre Dame, man, they losing their diapers big time, bro. I mean, I don't understand what they're bitching about. They've been screwing college football for the past 70 or 80 years with their little independence tirade. You know, they basically, old boy that was on here the other day, man, he was like, oh, man, our independence is our identity. Really? If that's so, then why is your basketball team, your gymnastics team, your lacrosse team, your baseball team, your softball team, why are all your teams in the ACC? And see, that's what happens when you do part-time work, bitch. You get part-time results, and it finally come back to bite y'all, man. We've been calling it for a while that eventually you not being in the conference was going to screw you, and that's what happened. If Notre Dame had been in the ACC full-time, they would have played Virginia or Duke the other day and probably beaten them and gotten the bid. And then at that point, James Madison wouldn't have been in, and guess who else would have got in? Miami. Y'all screwed yourself, man. ACC and Notre Dame. ACC for rolling over and taking it like a 90-pound prisoner in a men's shower. They basically just rolled over and took it from Notre Dame, right?
Yep.
So what's your take on all this, man? I mean, Alabama, the two Crimson Nations are going to play in the first round. I thought they'd drop us one spot, to be honest, but they didn't. And just the general meltdown. Now Notre Dame has come out and said that they're not going to bowl game. You see Alabama and Oklahoma doing that when they don't make the playoffs?
No. Well, you know, what's really funny is they're such hypocrites, because if, when the roles were reversed in 1993, they cried like newborn children. So, it is what it is, man. It's so funny how they can all rationalize the head-to-head not mattering. It's hilarious to me.
Their rationale is Notre Dame has been ranked ahead of Miami the whole time until this week. Well, that's because there was teams between them. BYU lost. At that point, They're right next to each other. So guess what you got to do? You got to compare them.
Yeah. And I got on a Notre Dame live stream right after it was announced, and dude, the crying was at next level. And I started commenting on, hey, if you just join a conference, that's all it takes. Just join a conference. And they blocked me from being able to comment. And that's all I said was join a conference, but they don't want to hear it.
They ain't even got to join a tough conference, man. Just join the ACC full time.
They're already halfway in.
Is in. Take a cue from Bobby Bowden back in the day when he said, you know what, I'm going to join the ACC because the road is a lot easier to a championship through the ACC than the SEC. He said that himself.
That's right.
It's easy, Notre Dame. I don't want to hear that shit about, man, our independence is our identity, because that's horse shit, man. If it was your identity, you'd be independent in everything.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100% right. It hurt them. And, you know, they don't want to, I mean, man, they just feel like the entitlement, the sense of entitlement. This is the first year that them not being in a conference actually hurt them. It should have hurt them before now, but it never has. Ever since the playoff got instituted, and I'm not talking about just the 12 team, but the 4 team, just the playoff in general, they have always been given special treatment and always been given the benefit of the doubt and always been included over other teams that were probably more deserving. This is the first year it didn't happen. So for multiple reasons, Crimea River, Notre Dame.
I don't understand why they can't comprehend how Miami eventually moved ahead of them. Because it's very simple. The Notre Dame guy was here the other day was like, how'd that happen? How'd they all of a sudden get up there? Because teams between Notre Dame and Miami lost, man. And Miami they didn't have no business putting Miami down at 18 to begin with. So,
but also, Miami has been improving week by week and playing some ranked opponents towards the end of the season. So their resume continued to get stronger. And as it got stronger, it pushed them closer to Notre Dame in the rankings. And like you said, once they're right next, I don't even think they had to be right next to each other. I think even with one team in between them, how do you not count the head-to-head? That is the truest way to judge who's better.
Well, they're trying to say also that, you know, Alabama's got 3 losses. They only got 2. But they've said 1,000 times, and they finally had the backbone to back it up. The committee did, that it's not just about your record; it's about your strength of schedule and your entire resume. And Alabama's entire resume blows both of those guys away. They may not want to admit it, but the numbers are there. That's not something I'm making up. The numbers are there for Alabama. And if Alabama had 4 losses and they only had 2, then that would be a different story. But if you only have 1 game separating, then they're supposed to go by the strength of schedule at that point in the resume when it's just a 1-game difference.
Well, I think the thing that's really...
Which they didn't do last year. They screwed Alabama and Ole Miss and South Carolina, all of them, for SMU, for the same thing. Oh, SMU played in a title game. We can't punish them for that. So why should they punish Alabama at that point? Or BYU, for that matter.
Yeah, I think the conference championship games just didn't allow it to hurt the teams that were in it, and it didn't even hurt Ohio State, because if it would have really hurt Ohio State, they would have dropped to 3 and not 2. But considering that both Ohio State and Indiana finished the year undefeated, I think they figured, you know, they have to flip Indiana in front since they had the head-to-head. But they didn't hold it against Ohio State because they didn't drop them below Georgia. And Bama didn't fall either. So, and I think it's the right call. I mean, it's not fair for all of those teams to have to play an extra game and have that hurt them. It should only help them. And if your answer is that's BS, and then I don't totally disagree, get rid of the conference games, which I think, I mean, you know, hopefully will happen in one fell swoop. They'll just get rid of all of them. This will be the last year. And something tells me that next year, you know, instead of conference championship weekend, we're going to have play-in weekend where they're going to, you don't even necessarily have to expand the draw. You could keep it at 12 if you really wanted to. Just have playing games, and that way you'll essentially create an expanded playoff without really expanding it. Either that or go to 16.
Johnny John says Notre Dame still think it's 1950s. They're more important than they actually are. They need to join the conference. Yeah, exactly. It finally come back to bite them. It finally did. So there you go. And a lot of these people that are spouting off don't even know, they're not educated. The players, I got a clip of the Notre Dame players in their locker room acting all spastic, saying stupid shit about James Madison, Tulane. Y'all didn't get left out because of James Madison and Tulane.
No.
Y'all got left out because Miami beat you and because Alabama's strength of schedule was like 3 or 4 times better.
Y'all a whole lot better.
Y'all were 42nd and Alabama's was 11th. That's a big difference. That's a big-ass difference. That's 31 spots, right?
And Miami was like right there with them. I think Miami was like 44th or 45th.
Yeah, but Miami had that head-to-head on them.
But they have the head-to-head. I totally agree. I don't even think it's a question. It's amazing to me that Notre Dame fans are crying like this when they lost straight up. I mean, and again, if you got rid of the automatic quality, the real shame is that James Madison and Tulane should not be in this playoff.
Right. Exactly.
But they didn't consider the fact that the Power 4 conferences, that one of those stupid Power 4 conferences wouldn't, have a ranked conference champion. So they, per the rules, don't have it twice.
Well, yeah, I mean, and me and you've discussed this before, as well as Jonathan Lewis. I don't have a problem with the G5 making it if they actually deserve it. If they schedule a few Power 4 schools and beat them and then go undefeated in their shitty conference, and then they get into the top 12 by ranking, then yeah, at that point, maybe they deserve some consideration. But you're going to have to schedule up and you're going to have to go undefeated through your conference. That's just bottom line. If you're going to be at that level of football, you got to go undefeated, man. That's what Boise State did a few years back, and they almost made the 14 playoff because they beat like Wisconsin and somebody else in the Power 4. But they ended up losing Nevada and Colin Kaepernick's jackass and ended up getting screwed out of the playoffs because they couldn't beat Nevada. But
Notre Dame needed
– let me bring this clip up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Notre Dame, the 2 games that they lost, I heard a lot of Notre Dame fans talking about this when I was on that live stream, and it's true. They all knew that they had to at least split those games and come out with at least one win out of those 2 games, but they didn't. They lost both of them.
And one of them was at home. So
that's right.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Out the gate, he looks like a jackass anyway. But anyway, this is just not knowing what you're talking about.
Hey, did the Irish make the CFP?
No!
Why not?
They flipped us while both teams didn't play.
James Madison and Tulane in there. Are they top 10 teams?
No!
Top 15?
No!
Top 20?
No!
High school teams?
And by the way, we got
James Madison and Tulane had automatic berths, man. I mean, you can't do nothing about that, brother. Y'all should have joined the ACC full time instead of being part time.
It hurts you this time. It's never has yet, but it hurts you.
It's about damn time, right? It's about damn time.
And we have a Notre Dame fan in here.
You know what's great? You know what's great about it?
What's that?
Alabama and Oklahoma had a part in doing it.
Yeah.
Because we're ahead of them. We're the teams that got in over them.
Well, I mean, again, look at you can say whatever you want about, Oklahoma's offense is ineffective. Their offense isn't good. Alabama's been playing poorly the last couple of weeks. They're leaking oil. You can say that all you want, but it still doesn't change the fact that the wins are the wins and the losses are the losses. And when you look at the resume and how many tough teams you have to play every week in the SEC, I can't even think about next year having 9 games. I mean, think about that. With 9 games next year, if they don't get rid of that conference championship, that means the 2 teams that make it to the conference championship are going to have to play 10 games, SEC games next year.
Yeah, that's what Kirby Smart said. He made a good point, man. I must admit, it's hard for me to smack talk Kirby Smart because he says a lot of smart things. No play on the words there, but he says a lot of stuff that's pretty accurate, man. He sort of reminds me that he's just got a common sense view of everything. Paxton 941 says Texas and Michigan will have more viewers than some college football playoff games. That's probably true because Oregon versus James Madison don't really set anybody on fire, I guess. But the element of maybe a Cinderella story, I mean, I'll probably watch it. But you said you had a Notre Dame guy in here. Is this the guy you're talking about?
Yeah. This is the thing. This is the other thing. And I'll agree with them on one part of this. There all the Notre Dame fans are hollering about, well, why? I mean, why don't you just have Miami flip them at the very end? Why? I will agree with them on this. Miami should have been ahead of Notre Dame last week because at that point, it was the end of the season. We knew what the regular season resumes were going to be, and Miami's was better because of the head-to-head. I agree with that. But every week beforehand, the fact that Miami wasn't ahead of Notre Dame or close to him yet, I'm okay with that because, again, Miami had that bad run in the middle of the season, and that dropped them way low. And so their resume continued to improve as they got better and started playing some ranked teams. Whether I think Pitt should have been ranked or not, they were. You know what I'm saying? So,
but no, that's what I mentioned earlier. The teams between Notre Dame and Miami started losing.
That's right. So, that's right. The everything changes on a week-to-week basis in the regular season. So Miami wasn't ahead of Notre Dame earlier in this because Miami didn't look like a better team earlier than this. But considering the fact that they ended strong and they ended with the same record and they have a head-to-head, I don't even know why we're even talking about this, man. The head-to-head is the only way to figure it out.
And it might be true that Miami should have eventually jumped Notre Dame quicker, but the teams between Miami and Notre Dame didn't do anything to be punished for Miami to jump them. But when they lost, Miami didn't have to jump them. They just moved up.
Yeah.
We're not talking about them taking Miami at 18 and jumping them over Notre Dame. We're talking about they got to make it through, Virginia, Georgia Tech, BYU, all those teams were ranked ahead of Miami. You can't punish those teams just to get them where you want them.
Yeah.
But it happened naturally. They all started losing. Notre Dame and Miami at the end of the day, as Killer Breeze likes to say, at the end of the day, they had to play.
That's right.
And they played against each other in that last week. They were not next to each other until the last week. So that's why they waited till the last week. Now, it was sort of fishy that they jumped Alabama over Notre Dame. But the thing is, they knew that they had over-punished Alabama for that loss to Oklahoma. Because it's not like Oklahoma blew Alabama out. And Oklahoma's a top 10 team. And you're going to drop us 6 spots? But you're only going to drop Ohio State 1 spot? I'm just saying.
Listen.
They knew they messed up, so they corrected it.
Yeah.
But it is true. I do think they need. Now, a lot of people say that we can all agree on this. I think they need to do away with this committee bullshit, man.
Yeah.
It causes this kind of shit every year. There's always some kind of controversy.
And get rid of the automatic qualifiers. If you get rid of the automatic qualifiers, Notre Dame's in.
Exactly.
They're in. The only argument we would be talking about would be between Texas, Vanderbilt, and probably BYU. You know, that would be the argument for the last team in. You know, so again, you know, I you don't necessarily have to expand to 12 teams, but you know, push it to 16 potentially and just send the top 16, and that gives the G5 an even better chance of being able to make it so they can't totally cry. All you have to do is be the 16th best team in the country and you get in the playoff, you know? So that would end all of this.
Bush League Toast is in here. And Bush League says, don't change the fact Bama got embarrassed and Oklahoma can't score on Killer Breeze's grandma. Hook 'em. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, Alabama didn't really get embarrassed. We got a punt blocked. It was 21-7, and our coach spazzed out, and we was only down by 2 scores. He went for it on 4th and 2 at the 12. Every single score that look at Georgia's stats. Every single score that Georgia had was 55 yards or less. Every single score that Georgia had was given to them really by bad field position. The defense done great for Alabama. It's just that, shit happens, man.
Not only that, I people are probably gonna say at least the Bama haters are gonna tell me I'm crazy, but I'll say this. Think about this. First of all, you had 2, not 1, 2 passes hit Alabama receivers. One of them hit him in the hands. The other one hit him in the chest while they were in the end zone. That's 2 touchdowns that should have been on the board. So right there, it's a 1-score game. And then when you factor in the fact that they didn't have Cuevas, who especially as a possession guy, to keep the chains moving, if you have Cuevas in there and these 2 dipshit receivers don't miss the ball, right, which is literally put right on them. Right. Sorry, coach, hit him in the hands. Then this game, it's you're right there. So I get it. Ty Simpson didn't look great. They're struggling running the ball. Those are fair.
Yep.
But the score looked a lot worse than it really was.
Well, I mean, if you give somebody the ball on your side of the 50 3 different times, they're probably going to score. And if you give somebody the ball at the freaking 12-yard line, they're probably going to score, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you'd been at Georgia's 12-yard line and went for it on 4th and 2, I've been fine with that, even at midfield. But you don't do that to your defense. Your defense has been playing well all game. You punt the damn ball. Yes, your chances are getting slimmer, but your chances become a lot slimmer if you don't get 4th and 2 at the 12. At that point, you're just basically killing yourself. You're basically just taking that knife and stabbing yourself at that point.
I'm glad you said that. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. Alabama's defense actually played a great game. I know what people are going to say. What are you talking about? They lost by 3 touchdowns. Well, the fact of the matter is, go look at how they started, man. That Georgia was held to 2 3 and outs to start the game. Right. The problem was the offense couldn't get in a rhythm. Ty Simpson looked rattled, and man, I don't care what you say. When you're playing that kind of competition, your defense cannot sustain that kind of level of play when they're constantly being put back on the field.
Well,
that's what it is.
2 of those scores come off. One was a punt block, and they only had to drive it like 20-something yards. And the other one was a 12-yard drive on a 4th and 2 with about 7 or 8 minutes left. So They had 2 drives with a combined 40 yards for 2 drives. I mean, that's extremely short drives. That's 2 just gimmies. That's just layups. In the past, Alabama's defense has been able to bow up and hold people to field goals, but they just weren't able to do it because they were just put in a bad spot all night. And without those 2 scores, like you say, it becomes a 1-possession game. And we'd gotten it down to 2 possessions. Even with all that crap, Alabama had gotten it down to a 2-possession game. It's just that our coach decided that everybody had been, patting him on the back for being a gambler and going for it on 4th down. And I guess he thought he was going to just be King Dingaling and gamble at the 12-yard line, and he ended up screwing himself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, DeBoer, I think you said it well. DeBoer spazzed out on that fourth down call, man. He just spazzed out. He crumbled under some pressure of the SEC championship is a big deal. Kirby also said it himself. At one point he was talking about how important the SEC championship was, and he's like, I'm not going to say it's more important than the national championship, but man, it's important. And his point is, winning the SEC championship is a big deal, and in some ways, says as much about you as winning a national championship will. I don't think there's any question about that.
You want to see some crybaby stuff? You want to see some crybaby stuff?
I would love to.
All right. Well, I mean, it ain't too bad, but still.
Tracking news in a CBS Sports 8, Notre Dame released in a statement the following. As a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. This comes after Notre Dame was left out of the college football playoff. The Irish were the first team out after falling behind Miami for the first time in any of this year's playoff rankings. Reaction instantly with Bryant McFadden here as the Fighting Irish will not appear in a bowl game, and their season has come to a close here short of the college football playoff. We knew the road ahead, what was required of them, rattling off those 10 wins after a slow start, those 2 losses to what are playoff teams. But to take your name out of bowl consideration, is that fair or foul, or is that just the day and age we're living in?
It's fair because you can do it. This is a new landscape in college football when it comes to postseason play.
First of all, it's not a new landscape. People have withdrawn from bowls in the past. This ain't something earth-shattering that Notre Dame did.
No, but it's
the current playoff.
What's that?
I was just gonna say no, but it sure doesn't look real good for them. I think it's a horrible look.
It looks like a crybaby move to me. It's like we didn't get in the playoffs and we're going to throw a fit.
Yeah.
But Alabama, South Carolina, Ole Miss, they all went to bowl games last year.
Well, they're basically saying, "Oh, you don't want to include us in there? Well, then we'll go ahead and try to ruin you ruined our playoff host. We'll go ahead and ruin your bowls. We're gonna make whatever game you thought we were gonna be in a little less attractive."
Seating and how it's orchestrated, how it's structured. You know, if you're Notre Dame and you're not in the top 12, you felt like you got hosed because to Joe's point, every revealing the committee did leading up to today's information had Notre Dame in the top 12.
But every week before that, Notre Dame was not Miami was not next to Notre Dame because the teams in front of Miami had to lose. These idiots, man, they just want to conveniently forget that shit, man.
Yeah. It's really what it is. And again, it's not like we don't have, I mean, think about this. Whenever we have all of these rules to figure out who goes ahead of who, it's usually because of a lack of head-to-head competition between teams. So when you have the head-to-head, I mean, again, the mental gymnastics the Notre Dame fans are having to go through to avoid the head-to-head loss is astounding. It staggers the imagination. It really does.
It's karma, and it's pretty entertaining.
So if you're Notre Dame, how are you left out of the top 12 when you didn't play one ball game? Mm-hmm. And you had other teams who are now in the top 12 who also didn't play a game either.
You could say it even like this. You had 2 teams sitting on the couch yesterday due to the ACC tiebreaker rules, Miami and Notre Dame, neither playing football on Conference Championship Saturday. So no results to add to those names, and still you get the pair.
And to your point with Miami and Notre Dame, of course, these 2 teams were tied to the hips over the last few weeks in terms of the reveals. But if you're Notre Dame, you were in front of Miami every playoff revealing show. You were in front of Miami, and to Joe's point, both teams.
But y'all were not right next to each other. I just keep forgetting that shit. This is the first week that Notre Dame and Miami have been right next to each other. Right?
Yeah. No,
You're sitting on the couch watching football like us as fans, and now Miami is in front of you. So seeing this statement, this is the new landscape of college football because it's all about playoffs. When you're in the playoffs, you have an opportunity to do what? Compete for a championship. If you're not, you're not. It's almost like postseason play. Bowl games are now like the NIT of college football.
Mm-hmm. Now that I agree with. The bowl games have become the NIT of college football.
Yeah.
But regardless, even in the NIT, man, I would want my team to go to the NIT because it's extra practice time. You're losing all the extra practice time for your team with the bowl game. You get those extra practices, and it's just a nice little trip, man. I mean, you're going to be sore for the first week or so, but after that, you get a nice trip to Orlando or something, man. Who wouldn't want to go to Disney World in the middle of December? I mean,
the bowl games are still listen. I've been to national championship games and I've been to just regular bowl games, some big and some small. They usually end up being fun no matter what. You know, at the end of the day, you usually play another, you know, a team you don't normally play. So, you know, they're meaningless. They've become more and more worthless. You know, sure, okay, but I mean, man, to just throw a hissy fit and walk away because you feel like you got screwed. I mean, how many years did they make it in over somebody else that felt like they got screwed? You know, it's just, to me, it's just horrible optics.
Well, Notre Dame has been screwing people over even before the playoffs. Back in the old days, man, you read the books, man. I told you about the story about the 1966 season where Notre Dame and Michigan State played to a tie, and Alabama was undefeated at number 3. Alabama went to a bowl game. Those two sat at home and decided not to go bowling. For whatever reason, I think Michigan State couldn't go because they had a rule then that if you went to the Rose Bowl the year before, you couldn't go to it again. So Michigan State sat at home. Notre Dame sat at home because back then they didn't go to bowl games because they thought it wasn't right. It wasn't, you know, it was some kind of infringement upon academics, or it was some kind of evil thing to go to a bowl game. And so Alabama ended up getting screwed out of a 1966 national championship, which makes Alabama a three-peat because we'd won 64 and 65. But, I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. Notre Dame has been getting away with this shit for a long time. And me and you have been talking the last couple of years, and y'all get mad because the shit comes true and then get mad at us like we done something. I didn't do nothing but try to tell y'all what was coming, man. And so did Killer.
Well, you know, the game, things are changing, man. You know, things are changing, and it really is true. You know, the people that refuse to adapt with what's going on are going to get left behind.
Well, look, from mine and your daddy's, you know, Notre Dame screwed our teams over for decades.
Oh my God, dude.
Back in the day, Bear Bryant could not beat Notre Dame. I mean, from what I understand, he got hosed in a few Sugar Bowls. There was a few questionable calls for Notre Dame, but you know, Notre Dame ripped you off for your little play like a champion sign. They broke your streak. And it's just, you know, our fathers have grew up with Notre Dame always getting that free pass that you spoke of earlier. Always getting that preferential treatment they keep saying that we get. You know, that's what liberals do. They'll say stuff about you that they're actually doing. And that's what Notre Dame does. And that's what the Big Ten does to some degree.
My father couldn't stand Notre Dame until the day he died. I'll never forget back in probably like 2008, 2009, something like that. I was talking to him, and somehow the USC Oklahoma National Championship got brought up, and I was like, that game still just bugs the hell out of me, man. I still haven't gotten over that. And my dad looked at me with the most serious face. He's like, well, I still haven't gotten over Notre Dame in 47 or whatever. You know, I don't think it was actually the winning streak that he was referring to. It was a different game. But yeah, man, they have been the darlings of college football forever. It's always been like that. And again, outside of the 10, 15 years where they were just not competitive, you know, that they were still on TV during all those years because of their contract that they always have with NBC, you know. It's annoying. It's annoying. And the fact that it doesn't work out for them this one time, and I mean, dude, again, the live streams that I got on just to watch them all fall apart. I mean, they were just could not believe that Notre Dame got passed up. Just couldn't.
You know what? I talked to Johnson about this last night. It dawned on me right after Duke won that game. I'm like, you know what? Duke may have just done Miami a solid because, you know, by beating Virginia at that point, the committee also had to factor in, you know what? Not only did Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head, but if we don't let Miami in, we're leaving out a Power 4 conference. So not only did they beat y'all head-to-head, but if we leave Miami out, the entire ACC conference gets left out. Although Notre Dame is technically a part of that conference part-time.
Do you think they really cared about that, about leaving the ACC out? I mean,
I think they did. I think they looked at it a little bit. I think they factored in a little bit because you got 14 or 15 teams in that conference.
But God, dude, as a true football fan, I mean, again, sports being the meritocracy that it's supposed to be, does the ACC really deserve to have a team? And the Miami, just because if you don't have a qualified team, that's on you. Now, Miami, I think is all things considered, I'm fine with Miami being in. I don't think Miami's necessarily a better team than Vanderbilt or Texas, though. To be fair, I mean, if Miami played either one of those teams, I don't think it's a guarantee that Miami wins.
Against who?
Texas or Vanderbilt.
Well, I think if Miami were to play James Madison or Tulane, they'd probably win those games, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so, those two teams sort of screwed the ACC.
James,
the ACC is just like Notre Dame. It's just like Vince McMahon when the Montreal screw job went down with Bret Hart. Just like in the title. Notre Dame screwed Notre Dame. The ACC screwed the ACC with their stupid-ass tiebreakers.
Yeah. Listen, they did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. Handle your business. Same thing with Texas. Handle your business, and you don't have this problem. And that's really all there is to it. When you have to sit there and plead your case to that degree, that's not everybody else's problem. That's your problem.
Skip 49 makes a good point. They are being paid by the ACC to play 6 games, but they're still an independent team. That's what I'm saying. They get the best of both worlds, and they've been doing that for a while. And finally people got in the committee there, and they're a little outnumbered in there because they don't have any conference brethren to take up for them because they're independent. So yeah, that's what happens when you claim to be independent when you're really not, and you need help from other people. When in the past you ain't wanting to help nobody else, you just want to take your shit. By the way, Texas probably needs to go independent, just like Notre Dame. This comment that Burnt Toast made exemplifies why I don't like Texas as an outsider. Texas, who will drag little brother Oklahoma with them, will make their own 20-team conference, and that hat on the left will realize that Saban doesn't coach anymore. Let me tell you something about this hat over here, brother. That's been Texas's MO since day one. If they can't have their way, they leave, and then they destroy it. They're sort of like Lane Kiffin. They just burn the place down. It's like the Southwest Conference, man. Y'all shit on that conference, went to the Big 12, and destroyed a good thing that the Big 12 had going. They were a pretty nice conference in the 90s and into the 2000s until y'all started getting your claws in them, and then you wanted to suddenly say, oh, we got our own TV contract. We're not sharing that money. Oh, yes, you are. It's a conference. But to their credit, the Big 12 rolled over and let them do it until it was apparent that contract that Texas got wasn't really doing anything for ESPN. So they said, you know what, y'all suck. So we're going to drop that contract. Screw y'all. And then Texas like, damn, we need to join the SEC. So now you come over here and you think it's going to be business as usual. Wrong answer. Y'all not going to do that shit over here, man. And now Oklahoma has got people to back them up. They're on equal footing with you because they got people backing them up. Oklahoma didn't have nobody to back them up over there. They had to put up with your stupid shit for 30 years. And then they played you when you were in the Southwest Conference because you weren't in a conference with them for 40 or 50 years because you were scared of the Big 12. You wanted to play all Texas schools. Y'all are a bunch of cowards, man. That's my rant. Sorry.
It's just it's the Nepo baby, spoiled kid syndrome. That's what it is. It's always been that way. I'm so damn used to it that
they're going to go back and rejoin the Big 12, and then they're going to go add North Dakota State, Nagasaki egg rolls, and Canada Tech, and all that shit. Because people are tired of y'all shit, man. You and Notre Dame both can go straight to hell, man. Y'all got a little dose of what it's going to be like in the future.
Johnny Johns wants to know who's excited to watch Ole Miss play Tulane again or play Oregon versus JMU. Nobody. Tulane is a 17.5-point underdog to Oregon, and James Madison is a 21.5-point underdog to Oregon.
Well, look, man, I don't have a problem.
To Oregon.
I don't have a problem with that idea, even though I've been giving Texas hell in here. Texas and Vanderbilt and Notre Dame probably do deserve to be in over them teams, but they shouldn't have worded that shit like that. They should have worded the contract differently. You wouldn't have that issue. And it's just like you said, it's pretty common sense, man. Why don't you just put the best 12 teams in? And why you got to have automatic qualifiers? That's why the SEC wouldn't go to 16 or 14 with the Big Ten, because the Big Ten wants 4 automatic qualifiers. And the Big Ten's like, why are you getting mad? We're going to get you 4 too. But that's not what it's about, man. Why should you get a 4th qualifier if they're like 7-5 or some shit, man? You know?
There should be no automatic qualifiers for anyone. Nothing.
I don't have a problem with JMU and Tulane getting in if they earned it, but they really didn't earn it this year. Like we discussed earlier, in the past you've had a G5 school that beat a few Power 4s and they got ranked in the top 10 like Boise State. I don't have an issue with that. But if they're not up there and they don't deserve it and they're not one of the best 12, yeah, Notre Dame is a better team than those two by far.
Yeah.
But we didn't make the rules. So don't be pissed off at Oklahoma and Alabama or even Miami. It's like they're mad at Miami. I'm like, y'all should be mad at Alabama, not Miami. We're the one that originally jumped you and made it possible for Miami to get right next to you.
What the rule is the top 4 ranked conference champions and the top ranked group of 5. Is that correct?
Is that right? It's the top 5 champions, conference champions, period. It don't have to be a Power 4.
Conference champions. They don't specify a G5. I thought it was the top 4 conference champions because of the Power 4. And then they didn't word it like that though. They didn't put Power 4. They just put the top 4 or 5. Yeah, right. No, I get that, but I mean, I thought it was. I don't know. I thought for some reason it was only 4 conference champions and then a G5.
It might be 4, but let's see. The Big 12 has Texas Tech, Alabama, Georgia, and the SEC. Big 10 has Indiana.
Yeah,
so that's 3. So who would be the 4th highest?
The 4th highest would be Tulane.
And then the 5th highest. Well, actually,
Tulane. I get it. Tulane gets but I thought my point is, I would a G5 team? Isn't there a G5 automatic qualifier?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Tulane got the automatic G5, and then the next highest champion after Tulane getting the automatic G5 is James Madison.
Yeah,
because Duke is not ranked, or are they? I don't know how that top 25 ended up going. I didn't watch the show completely. So if Duke got ranked, I don't know. But all I know is they didn't get them ranked ahead of James Madison.
I don't think they got ranked.
Even if they did, they didn't get ranked ahead of James Madison, because if they had, Duke would be in.
Yeah.
Now that would really suck. I'd rather James Madison be in than Duke.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. You can't put a 5-win to 5. Don't wait. Are they a 5-win team or a 5-loss team?
5 losses. That's another thing that people keep saying it's incorrect. Man, you can't put a 3-loss team in like it's something that's never happened. It happened the first year. Clemson was a 3-loss team. They got in.
Yeah, and it was.
So don't act like it's never happened before, because it's already happened. And by the way, Clemson give Texas a pretty good game in that first round. So I'm just saying. And what you know what really sucks for all of y'all in here? All of y'all that don't like Alabama and Oklahoma, what really sucks for y'all is just know this. One of the two, Alabama or Oklahoma, is going to be in the second round.
That's right.
That's a guarantee.
Guarantee. That's exactly right.
And guess what?
One of these 2 teams that everybody's conveniently hating on, saying that these 2 teams don't deserve it.
And
one
Indiana,
of them dancing.
they were all stroking Indiana and Ohio State. What a great game. What a great game. 13-10, man.
It was a
These guys are
horrible
supposed to be
game.
Heisman Trophy candidates.
It was
right?
boring as hell.
13-10. Okay? So let me tell you something. Whoever wins this game between Alabama and Oklahoma, don't think Indiana's going to have a layup or some shit, because it's not going to happen that way. Matter of fact, I'll go as far to say that either Alabama or Oklahoma, either one, could beat Indiana. Indiana didn't show me shit. They had 13 points against one of the tougher defenses. So,
I'm glad you brought that up, because I am so. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that just be funny if one of the Crimson Nations ends up beating number 1 seed Indiana? And I mean, dude, if you think it's not possible, you're out of your mind.
I mean, it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen, and that shit's going to be blowed up. They're going to be like, damn, our Cinderella story and our Big Ten champion got their ass housed by an SEC team that it's not the champion of the SEC.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, again, everybody just assumes that it's not. There's no way it's going to happen. I think they just tend to forget. I mean, it could easily, the SEC could ruin the Big Ten's
and you know what I feel
right out of the gate.
I feel a lot better about Alabama now, because I thought we would end up playing whomever, which is Oklahoma now. I thought we'd end up playing this coming Saturday or Friday, but you actually get a week off. So we're actually going to get to rest our players a little bit. And this is not an excuse, but Alabama had 10 starters out of that game. 10.
Yeah.
We're the walking wounded. This week off will give us a chance to try to get healthy, and maybe we can get a little revenge for y'all ruining our homecoming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, beating the same team twice in 1 year is traditionally very difficult to do. So
Indy is legit. Watch the games. Man, they almost lost to Penn State. And Penn State
I did watch the games. Penn
State had them beat. And Penn State is not our daddy's Penn State right now. Penn State, what is Penn State's record? 6-6?
That good?
And then they almost lost to Iowa. They only scored 18 points on Iowa. Oh, yeah, that's a great offense right there, boy. Yeah, give them the Heisman Trophy.
Fernando Mendoza did not win the Heisman last night. I can promise you that.
He had his Heisman moment when they converted that first down.
They really, man, they're not, again, I'm not saying they're definitely going to lose, but everybody's acting like it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win and their first game. And as you have already pointed out multiple times, first of all, that bye, especially when you got scrappy teams like Oklahoma and Alabama who are winning ugly right now, that is the kind of team you do not want to play after you've been sitting at home on a bye while they've been getting their playoff chops.
Oklahoma got a good 2 weeks off. I mean, that could really be a good thing for John Notre. I mean, what if that hand starts coming around a little bit better, and he goes back to being the John Notre of early season.
Also, R. Mason Thomas is our best defender. He hasn't played in 3-4 weeks because of an injury. So what if we might get R. Mason back? And also there's another guy that's been out that we might get back as well. But we're gonna heal up a little bit. So if I know Indiana's not worried about Oklahoma or Alabama, and neither is probably anyone in the country outside of Tuscaloosa and Norman.
What kills me, man, is
that is perfect for us, to be honest with you.
They were talking in absolutes just the other night. People in my DMs blow me up. Man, just get over it, man. A 3-loss team is not going to go in, although Clemson went in last year.
Yeah.
Y'all just need to go ahead and get ready for it, man. Y'all need to get your Citrus Bowl tickets. All that shit. And now Texas is the one that's probably going to the Cheez-It Bowl or the Citrus Bowl, whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe we can send Burnt Toast a box of Cheez-Its or something. And maybe you can help the sponsors out that he's going to, the mid-card bowl they're going to, whatever it is. they'll probably be like Notre Dame. We don't want to go. We scared to play in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Well, they certainly. I mean, it's a bad look for Notre Dame. It's not a good look. You just look like an 8th grade chick, man. I mean, that's the way you look right now. You got to get your act together. I mean, act like you've been there before, man. And as for someone who is as upper crust as Notre Dame fancies themselves to be, then you would think that you would have a little more class and character in this moment and play the bowl game. Or at least, how about this? At least give it a few days before you make a decision like you're a 13-year-old 8th grade chick who's on her period for the, like, what are you doing, man?
If y'all don't mind, smash the like button. I know Killer Breeze has been saying it in the comments, but if y'all don't mind, smash the like button if you haven't already. And also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to donate, you can't do it through Super Chats. We've been demonetized December 14th. Hopefully I'll be getting that monetization back pretty soon, right before Alabama and Oklahoma face off. That'd be
Why did you get demonetized?
Because I reshared Charlie Kirk TikTok videos in my show.
Bullshit, man.
Just because I was trying to push a real American out there and do some dedications to him, they demonetized my channel. So now the only way you can donate is through JPC316 on Venmo or money $sign JPC316 on Cash App. Anything you can give me would be highly appreciated. I don't give a shit if it's $1, $2, or $2,000.
Well, you know what they can give you right now that doesn't cost anything is hit that subscribe button if you ain't subscribed.
Yeah,
Come
subscribe.
join the posse.
Subscriptions on YouTube cost nothing. I know usually the word subscription invokes you got to pay for something, but it's absolutely free to like and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, man. Burnt Toast says the Notre Dame guy is the Heisman, but Vandy guy will probably win it. Hat on the left hates him because, well, just listen.
I did not say I hated the Notre Dame running back. Wait a minute.
He actually gave the guy props, not that on a previous live stream. So that's not true.
That's definitely not true. I said that him and the Notre Dame running back should be the top two.
That's right. And Diego Pavia should win it.
Yeah, but he won't. They'll probably give it to Fernando Mendoza because he converted a first down in the fourth quarter.
They are.
That's a Heisman moment. They salted the game away, 13-10. Woohoo! Yeah, Ohio State missed a 27-yard field goal and basically give Indiana their first conference title since 1945.
Yeah, Fernando didn't look too masculine out there, did he?
Did you hear that shit? I'm glad you brought that up, man. I forgot. Did you hear his interview?
Yes.
Holy mother of God.
I was embarrassed for Fernando.
Man, I ain't like, have you ever cringed for somebody? I'm like, oh,
that's
shit.
what I'm. Yes, I was me. Yes, I was cringing. Yeah,
Dude's eyes just went like this right here. His eyes went like this, man. He went full on spastic, man. I don't know what's going on with that kid. Or
he's an ugly crier.
Got me calm.
He is an.
And he's supposedly Latino, man. He's the whitest Latino guy I've ever seen in my life, man. I guess it's being around.
Well, they have those. They have straight up white Latinos. I mean, they look like just go Caucasian down the street. Oh yeah,
I thought it was because he went up there and got around Larry Bird and all them white ass people in Indiana.
No, man, no, dude, it's trippy.
You know them Indiana white guys. They white for real, boy.
Yeah, well, it's trippy. I studied Spanish down in Costa Rica for a couple of months back in 1994, and there is a portion of the society that is white, and they are not. I mean, they are full-blooded Hispanic, and they look white as hell.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. I thought he was straight up. Well, he is a white dude.
Rye guy, yeah, that's right. Rye guy, Argentina. You're right about that.
Notre Dame did turn down a bowl bid, like Mr. John says, and we've been discussing that already. Them basically throwing a temper tantrum and wetting their diaper.
Burnt Toast, explain to me why they should turn that down. Why does that help Notre Dame to turn down the bowl bid? Especially, I mean, man, You haven't even gotten a bid yet. You're less than 24 hours away from the loss. Don't you think you want to act more like men than junior high cheerleaders? I mean, what are we talking about here, man? You're making a decision just like that. You look like a big ninny.
Rod guy says he don't like the fact that they're making Oregon fly to Miami for a potential second-round game. Why wouldn't you want to play a game in Miami? Golly, man. I'd be wanting to play a game in Miami. The weather would be great, man.
Yeah, wait, what are you talking about from Oregon to Miami?
Because if they win in the first round, their second-round game will be in Miami in the Orange Bowl. The winner of the Oregon James Madison game goes to the Orange Bowl. Is what he's saying.
How does Oregon not get the next home game?
There's not a next home game. You only get first round home games, and then after that, it's neutral sites in the second round.
Okay, so then So first of all, Miami's playing Texas A&M in the first round, right? But
the winner of Oregon and James Madison goes to play. I guess Georgia or Ohio State. I don't know. Might be Ohio State. I don't know. No.
How do they end up playing in Miami?
Because that's where the second round game's at.
I'm so confused. But
The Miami Hurricanes are going on the road. It has nothing to do with the Miami Hurricanes. The Miami Hurricanes are playing A&M.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm okay. Sorry. I thought you were saying something different. You're just talking about the location is in Miami. It has nothing to do with them playing it. Okay, I got you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Miami's going on the road to College Station. It's probably pretty cold in College Station in a couple of weeks. So I don't know how Miami's going to like that too much, but I haven't got the bracket in front of me. I guess I should pull it up real quick if you want to.
It's going to be cold in Norman probably, on the 19th, man. I mean, and it's going to be windy as hell too.
I may pull up a bracket real quick while you maybe get to some of the comments.
So yeah, right, guy. It seems like I wish they had more home games in this playoff thing, man. The fact that they only do that in the first round kind of sucks. Just kind of sucks. I don't know why. Again, we're holding on to these damn bowls, like they mean something, and they don't.
Yeah,
It's definitely wet and cold it's a good chance it's going to be wet and cold. By the way, that's what it's going to be a good chance it's going to be wet and cold for us too in Alabama when we play, because it's that time of year in Oklahoma. And the wind blows all the time in Norman in December, all year really.
Yeah, the northern teams they think it doesn't get cold down here for some reason. The only place that don't get cold is South Florida.
Y'all get snow where you're at, don't you?
Yeah. We got snow in Tallahassee, Florida last year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the only place that don't get cold is South Florida. Once you get past Tampa Bay, you might be safe. I'm trying to get a bracket here.
Texas can worry about recruiting and other things earlier now. That's right. That's exactly right. That's what I was saying, Johnny Fairlane. And we were talking about that. Regardless of who wins that first round, that's what we were talking about, is that everybody thinks it's kind of a foregone conclusion. I think it's fair to say, I don't have any problem admitting it. I think it's fair to say that probably most teams want to play Oklahoma or Alabama right now, and that's fine with me. Just keep underestimating them, man. It's the quickest way to death in sports.
Well, they got to remember one thing. Alabama has 11th hardest schedule. I think Oklahoma's around that. I think Oklahoma's like 10th or 12th. All of y'all been playing 42nd and 43rd ranked schedules like Indiana. who dropped Virginia from their schedule, by the way, so they could play 3
Indiana's schedule was in the 40s.
something like that.
I
Might
thought
have been worse. Might have been worse than that. I don't know. I have to look it up, but anyway,
I'll look it up right now.
let me go ahead and bring this bracket up for everybody in here. Shit.
You're right. They're in the mid 40s. I'm surprised.
I don't know why.
I can't imagine that. I mean, I just can't imagine. I'm gonna look at their schedule. I can't imagine their schedule is impressive. It just can't be. Let me see here.
You see that?
Yeah.
Then you enlarge it.
No, I can see it.
All right. All right, this is the college football playoff bracket. Fucking motherfucker. Shit, man.
Indiana plays.
What the hell? This is something old right here. Oh, okay. No, it's not. It's updated. Shit.
What?
Keep messing it up. Got a little too big that time, didn't I?
No, I think you're all right.
Yeah, I'm an idiot when it comes to this shit. All right.
Leave it like that.
All right. So, here's what happens with Oregon. If Oregon wins, guess what? Y'all get probably the easiest route. Y'all got the easiest. That 5 seed always gets the easiest route to the title game because y'all going to play the worst bye team in Texas Tech.
That's true.
Texas Tech probably shouldn't have got a bye, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
I think you can make that argument. I mean,
I don't think Texas Tech should have got a bye.
I think you could easily make that argument.
It really don't matter because if Texas Tech had been 5th and Oregon had been 4th, Oregon and Texas Tech are going to play anyway. But
yeah,
y'all play Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. I'd take that. Alabama plays Indiana. I'm not sure where that game would be held. Probably the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I don't know where any of these games are being played. I got to look and see what the I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Miami and Texas A&M play. The winner of Miami and Texas A&M play Ohio State. That would be in the Cotton Bowl. I know that because Ryan Day was talking about this morning about how he's looking forward to going to Dallas.
Rose Bowl. We're playing the Rose Bowl.
Oh, snap. We'll be playing a Big Ten team in their prized possession.
Yeah.
We had to give up the Rose Bowl to be in the playoffs.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. We'll go over and embarrass Indiana.
And then if we win, it's so crazy. They got the Peach Bowl as a semifinal fucking game. What the fuck?
Yeah. Now,
how is that? The Peach
Ole
Bowl.
Miss,
And where's the Sugar Bowl in all of this?
I think maybe
the
Ole
Sugar
Miss.
Bowl is Georgia.
Yeah, Ole Miss versus Georgia maybe in a rematch. That was a pretty good game, by the way. Ole Miss had them beat. Ole Miss had Georgia beat in that game.
But the Sugar Bowl should be where the Peach Bowl is. Why is the Peach Bowl? That's crazy.
Atlanta, man. Atlanta pumping that money in there. And here's the first two out. Ain't that just great? The two most religious institutions in college football, the Mormons and the Catholics, are ass out.
Well, BYU, I mean, man, I love you, BYU. You know, God bless you, but get real. You know, BYU has no business being in the playoff. They've lost to Texas Tech twice. I think it's fair to say they're not winning a national championship. So, you know, and if your argument is you're one of the top 12 best teams, maybe you are. And again, I just go back to the automatic qualifiers is the big enemy here.
Hey,
That's what's screwing this thing up.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right. It says here Cotton Bowl. will be Ohio State versus Texas A&M Miami winner. That'll be on a Wednesday, December 31st, which is stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
You shouldn't play any games on New Year's Eve, man. People ain't gonna want to. Man, people gonna want to celebrate New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Every game should be played after New Year's Day, in my opinion.
I agree.
But January the 1st, the Orange Bowl gets Texas Tech and the Oregon James Madison winner. The Rose Bowl gets Indiana versus the Oklahoma Alabama winner. And Sugar Bowl gets Georgia and Ole Miss Tulane winner. And then they rotate this shit year by year, by the way. I think the Sugar Bowl was in the semifinals last year. Fiesta Bowl gets a semifinal game, as well as the Peach Bowl. And the championship is going right back to Miami. So Oregon, right, guy, y'all might have to make 2 trips to Miami to get the job done.
Clutch Space Grass says that off topic, he's a little bummed out that Matt Campbell ended up at Penn State because Penn State is one of his most despised teams, along with Texas, USC, and Notre Dame. So first of all,
sound like our kind of guy.
I was just gonna say, based on that alone, this guy is clearly a genius. I'm gonna listen to what this guy has to say, but I'm gonna also agree with you that if you hate Penn State, then you should be bummed out about Matt Campbell ending up there, because I think Matt Campbell is gonna be pretty good. I would bet you he's does the same things that James Franklin did at Penn State. Maybe not better, but I bet you he has them as a consistent 9-win team plus with an occasional good year.
What is this right here? Burnt Toast says the Big Ten has 3 of the 6. 3 of what 6? If you're talking about buys, no, they don't. I don't know what you're talking about, 3 of the 6. By the way, the SEC has 5. Why are you taking up for the Big Ten, jackass? You do realize Texas is in the SEC now, right? Y'all don't care about that.
Are we convinced that Burnt Toast is a Texas fan? I think
he's already said hook 'em a couple of times.
Yeah, but he might just be saying that to be, to be contrary, because he knows this is not a predominantly heavy Texas crowd. He seems like the type.
I don't know. He seems like
I got you pegged, Burnt.
A lot of Texas people act like it to begin with, so it don't surprise me.
You're right.
Why would you be pushing the Big Ten, man? You're in the SEC, bro. And the SEC's got 5 teams in. And they got 3.
The Big Ten cannot. There is no question. No question. The Big Ten is not on the same level with the SEC.
This is a true statement. The city of Austin and Texas are 2 different worlds.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
That's right.
Austin is now, but the thing is, here's the thing. Austin gets the rap of being the only liberal city in Texas, but that's not the truth, because
really it's usually the big cities anyway. Here in Alabama, Birmingham's that way.
Yeah, Houston and Dallas. Now, not necessarily San Antonio, but Houston and Dallas. They got the same liberal nonsense going on in the inner city part of it. If you get out where I live, which is way away from all of that.
Indy, OSU, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and Georgia are your best teams this year. That's odd.
That's hilarious to me that you have Notre Dame and Texas in the same.
You did
group.
Realize that.
First of all,
you said Alabama got embarrassed, right? You do realize that Georgia beat y'all by more than they beat us. And they actually beat y'all 35-10. Everybody knows that Kirby Smart and Georgia probably only really beat us 21-7 because we basically give them a touchdown there at the end.
Facts.
Y'all got dominated by Georgia, man. Y'all don't want to play Georgia again. They keep embarrassing y'all, man. Y'all can't beat Georgia, man.
I got to tell you, the fact that Burnt is telling us that those are the only teams that can win makes me feel a lot better about Oklahoma or Alabama's chances. A lot better.
Well, I hate to tell them this, but more than likely everybody's little darling Indiana is probably going to experience a first round or second round choke job because I could see Alabama or Oklahoma beating Indiana.
Big Train Kiffin in the house. What up, Big Train?
This is true. Texas barely beat Kentucky.
And Mississippi State.
And Mississippi State, the two worst teams in the SEC. And everybody's like, man, Texas is playing some of the best ball. They've only played good football for the past 2 weeks. They beat a Texas A&M team that hadn't beat nobody. Texas A&M wouldn't surprise me if Miami upsets Texas A&M.
Oh, could easily happen. I'm telling you now. First of all, they should have lost to both of those teams. They certainly should have lost to Mississippi State. They just spazzed out on that, to use your phrase. I
wouldn't rule Indiana out, huh? I'm not ruling Indiana out. I'm just saying y'all ruling out Oklahoma and Alabama. Oh, whoever wins that game, they're going to be gone after the second round. I wouldn't be so sure about that. By the way, yes, they beat Oregon and Ohio State, but who has Oregon and Ohio State beat? Just saying. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying.
Well, I think again,
I forgot. Ohio State did beat Texas at the beginning of the year by 1 score. The closest game, I hate to give you anything, burnt toast, the closest game Ohio State had was against the SEC school until Indiana whooped their ass.
Yeah. And that was a boring game. I don't care what anybody says. It sucked to watch. I watched it. I thought I was going to enjoy it, and it started putting me to sleep.
It wasn't. I didn't watch it until the end.
I tried. I was excited. I thought.
I'll be honest with you, I did not watch it until the end of like 5 minutes left to go, man.
I tried, man.
Because
it was not fun to watch. What bowl game did Florida get? I don't know. Did they release all of the bowls already?
I don't know. Let's see.
They do that at night, don't they? Did they? They do it Sunday night.
Here we go right here. You ready?
Yeah.
I'll bring it up. And I'll try to bring it up. Not going to guarantee I'm going to be able to do it.
Oh, yeah. It's live right now.
All right. Here we go. Can y'all see that? Can you see that?
Yeah. I got it right. Yep. They've got it released. Yeah. There you go.
All right. That's all the playoff shit. Oh, shit. Those are the first round games. They got those up. And here's the other bowls. December 13th, the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Boy, this is the one that con time Deion Sanders could never win. And it's sponsored by Cricket, probably one of the worst phone services of all time. South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M. That's a game I'm definitely going to. What about you, Killer?
South Carolina and
South Carolina State
and Prairie View. You gotta love later points with Prairie View.
That's right. And then also on December 13th, we have the LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. It's going to be Boise State and Washington.
That's kind of interesting, I guess. Not really.
And here the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery has an in-state rival, Troy State versus Jacksonville State of Alabama.
That's going to be a battle for some Alabama pride right there.
That's right. The Cure Bowl has Old Dominion versus South Florida.
Old Dominion is what? South Carolina?
South Florida.
Is Old Dominion? Oh, they South Florida? Okay. No.
Old Dominion's playing South Florida. Old Dominion's in Virginia.
Oh, they're in Virginia. Okay, that's right.
The 68 Ventures Bowl at Hancock Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, has Louisiana versus Delaware. Did Delaware move up? Did Delaware move up to Division One?
I guess.
I thought Delaware was FCS. I guess they moved up to Division One.
They must have. I mean,
they got the Michigan type helmets right there.
They must have.
The Xbox Bowl, man. I'm looking to learn some new bowl names here.
Yeah,
Frisco,
you're right.
Texas. Frisco, Texas, Arkansas State, and Missouri State. The Myrtle Beach Bowl. I would actually like to go to Myrtle Beach. I've never been. Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan. That's old boy that was in here the other day.
That's right. Western Michigan, who won their conference championship game.
Gasparilla Bowl. Memphis and NC State. That'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
Famous Idaho Bowl. Utah State and Washington State. Boca Raton Bowl. That's another place I'd like to go.
A rudderless Washington State now that they have lost their coach.
Kalen DeBoer could always go back. He used to coach in Washington. Toledo versus Louisville. Those teams are getting those two teams right there are getting a good bowl trip. I would definitely go to the Boca Raton Bowl.
Hell yes.
I mean, Notre Dame could have done this. Notre Dame could have played Toledo, man. What they scared of? Notre Dame's scared of Toledo, man.
Again, there's an even better one that they could have gone to coming up here, but keep going.
Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss. Frisco Bowl. That's 2 bowls in Frisco, Texas, man. They got 2 bowls in Frisco. I didn't even know Frisco, Texas was that big.
That's right by Dallas. It's a suburb of Dallas.
Okay. UNLV versus Ohio. Damn, they ain't gonna get no tickets sold to that game. I guarantee you they don't travel.
No.
The Hawaii Bowl, surprise, Hawaii. Hawaii versus California. Central Michigan versus Northwestern in the Detroit Bowl. Used to be the Cherry Bowl back in the day.
I thought I have a game above Sports Bowl.
The Rate Bowl was New Mexico and Minnesota. FIU versus UTSA.
The First Responder Bowl.
That's right. And the Military Bowl has Pittsburgh and East Carolina.
There we go. The
Pinstripe. Damn, Clemson going to freeze their ass off.
Oh, my God.
Clemson going to the Bronx.
That
Penn
is
State and Clemson, 2 of the flops. These 2 teams were in the top 5 at the beginning of the year.
That's what I was just about to say.
That was supposed to be a playoff game.
That's what I was saying. You think that's going to be in the marketing? 2 preseason top 5 teams in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York.
Fenway Bowl has UConn and Army. Pop-Tarts Bowl has Georgia Tech and BYU in Orlando, Florida. The Snoop Dogg Bowl. Damn. Hate to even have to say that. Fresno State versus Miami of Ohio. North Texas versus San Diego State. Missouri versus Virginia in the Gator Bowl. LSU versus Houston in the Texas Bowl.
So is this where Notre Dame? Is this where Notre Dame?
What?
Is this where Notre Dame was going to be? The Birmingham Bowl, the only one that they don't have the team slated for?
They probably just said screw it. Yeah, it should have been Notre Dame and Auburn. Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus Louisiana Tech. Tennessee plays Illinois in the Music City Bowl. Alamo Bowl is USC versus TCU. That's a rematch from a couple of years ago, wasn't it? TCU didn't come in. That was Tulane.
No, Vanderbilt. That's right. It was Tulane.
Vanderbilt is going to the ReliaQuest Bowl. Used to be the Outback Bowl. Vanderbilt versus Iowa. Duke in Arizona State. Michigan versus Texas in the Citrus Bowl. Ha ha ha. Joke's on you. You talking about I need to buy me some Citrus Bowl tickets? It looks like you need to buy you some Citrus Bowl tickets.
Now, maybe that's the place where Notre Dame would have been.
Probably. They're probably scared to play Michigan.
You know, Florida. They could have gone down to Florida.
They probably weren't scared to play Texas, but they were definitely scared to play Michigan. Nebraska versus Utah. Texas State versus Rice. Navy versus Cincinnati. Mississippi State got in the bowl.
Yeah.
They running out of bowl. They're running out of teams because Mississippi State's 5-7, ain't they?
Are they?
Arizona versus SMU in the Holiday Bowl.
Oh,
and that's all the bowl games.
That's pretty damn. That's again, most of those bowl games didn't sound very, very appealing, did they?
No, it didn't. I must admit that guy had it right when he says the NIT. Fuck
It
college
is.
football.
I mean, you know, now with the expanded playoff, man, it just makes them so. God,
Stupid.
they're just, yeah, they're just so
It
pointless.
don't have an impact on anything. That's why them players don't play in them. Because why would you want to get injured in a game like that?
Well, you brought up a point earlier, though. It does give it is a benefit for the program because of all the extra practice days that they get. So, you don't necessarily have to play your starters, and risk getting them hurt, but maybe it's a good game where you can give some underclassmen or some younger guys a chance to get some live action reps and, and use it to get the extra practice in and the extra conditioning, lift, and all that shit.
It would have been nice to see Texas and Notre Dame match up since they both think they belong somewhere they didn't belong.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
When you have a crappy schedule, see, Notre Dame is sort of like a G5 school. So, because if you don't beat the two power teams that you get on your schedule, the ones that's ranked, like Texas A&M and Miami,
Yeah.
and then you beat a bunch of bottom dwellers,
Yeah.
in a bunch of conferences like Stanford. I mean, Pittsburgh was all right, but Pittsburgh was probably, they I don't even think Pittsburgh is ranked anymore.
I mean, again, everybody knows the deal. Like, at the end of the day, winning takes care of itself, and that's the bottom line, man. When you lose and you leave it to outside circumstances needing to fall into place in addition to your play, you're always going to be at risk of getting screwed. My teams have been on the wrong end of that many times.
Burnt Toast says something about Ty Simpson got sacked a 35th time a minute ago. I think that Ty Simpson only got sacked once in that game. I'm not sure. It might have been twice. I think you're a little off. You're grasping, brother. You're struggling. You're struggling, man. You're struggling. And then you just tap out, man.
He threw for over 200 yards. I mean, part of the problem was he wasn't aggressive enough. The play calling wasn't aggressive enough starting off.
I wasn't real happy about him sliding for a loss.
That was stupid. He was just so rattled by that.
I've never seen anybody slide for a loss.
Yeah.
Ever. That was the
5
first
yards
time.
back.
He could have thrown the ball away. I told my friends, why didn't he just throw the ball away? He's out of the tackle box. Throw the damn ball away, man.
He was just rattled, man, at that point. He was just so in his head. And, he was making bad decisions. There's no doubt about it, but again, we've all seen what it looks like when he's making good decisions and playing well. And whether people want to admit it or not, he can turn things around. He's got time to fix things. It can happen pretty easily.
Just win, baby. Al Davis says Big Train, Kiffin. By the way, Big Train, are you going to the LSU Houston game? Where was that game being played, by the way?
What's
LSU
that?
Houston. Was that game being played in Houston? Was it the Houston Bowl?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
LSU
I've actually been to they played in the Houston Bowl not that long ago. I did go to it last time. So there's a good chance I'll go to it. Yeah.
He says he thinks two junk teams like Alabama play each other first. I will take the lead when Alabama gets pantsed again or Oklahoma shows that they're 2 inches in a cloud of dust.
Big Train, are you going to go to the Houston Bowl? If you're going to go to the Houston Bowl, Big Train, maybe I definitely need to go, and we can hook up in person. Big Train.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the Houston Bowl or where. I know LSU's playing Houston, though.
Huh?
Where is that game being played at, Big Train?
It's in Houston.
I know they're playing Houston. I just didn't know if it was in Houston. I know it's in a bowl game.
I would bet you it's at the where the Texans play.
That used to be the Blue Bonnet Bowl back in the day. Remember that shit?
I do.
Showing our age.
I do remember the Blue Bonnet Bowl, man. That's crazy. I haven't heard that in a long ass time. Bluebonnet Bowl.
It used to be a
Wow.
nice little bowl to go to. I think Alabama and Texas actually played in that bowl with
Wow.
Joe Namath was there, and it ended up 3-3, and they stopped Alabama at the goal line. It looked like Alabama got over. I think it was a 3-3 tie in the Bluebonnet Bowl. Was that Alabama and Oklahoma? I can't remember. It was 17-17. Alabama played Oklahoma in the Bluebonnet Bowl one year and tied 17-17. And they tied Texas.
What year was that? Is that like in the 70s or 80s?
I think it was in the 60s or 70s.
Oh, God, I don't remember that.
Notre Dame beat a lot of teams that made the finals last year. Who? Who did Notre Dame beat that made the finals? I don't know who you're talking about. USC ain't never made the playoffs, by the way. By the way, for all you Skittle shooters out there, I know y'all probably gone. You don't listen to me anymore because I grilled the shit out of you. But isn't it something that Brent Venables made the playoffs before Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley said he just couldn't get it done at Oklahoma?
Yeah, funny how that works out.
You can't win championships and you can't go to the playoffs with Oklahoma. No, what you meant to say was, I can't go to the playoffs with Oklahoma anymore.
Funny how that works out. Yeah, you remember that player that played for USC that was blind? Do you remember that guy? Because it was a big story. It was a big, he was blind and he was, I think he was a snapper maybe or something. Do you remember that kid? I can't remember the chat's got to remember this. Big Train, you got to know what I'm talking about. The blind kid that played for USC was a big USC fan as a kid, and he always brought him around the program. And then when he got to be in college, he went to USC and actually walked on the team. It was like a big feel-good story. Well, he went public actually making the same point you just made, Jesse. He remembers saying he got on Twitter saying it's real nice when the team that we poached our coach from makes it to playoffs before we do. That was it felt good. It felt really good. Yeah, he was a long snapper, Big Train.
Last year when Notre Dame actually made the playoffs, sorry, I hate to laugh at y'all and be gleeful at y'all's. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I ain't gonna lie to you twice.
You shouldn't be sorry.
But the point I was making was Brian Kelly said the same shit. Him and Lincoln Riley like two peas in a fucked up pod. Excuse my language. Here I go again. But Brian Kelly said the same thing about Notre Dame. Can't make the playoffs from Notre Dame. Can't recruit here.
Yeah.
You can't recruit there.
Yep. It's funny. Well, they went through a couple of coaches that couldn't do anything. They couldn't get it done there, man. I mean, again, after Lou Holtz left, they went through a long period of just not being competitive at all.
I want to know something real quick. Now, I'm not going to address this anymore because I don't understand why you got to keep taking personal shots, man. I mean, are you emasculated that bad, man? Do you need to go stroke it or something? Are you backed up? I mean, I don't understand it, man.
Well, first of all, he's wrong. First of all, his point is wrong. He can do whatever. He wants to bring up the RV. I'm not ashamed of this at all. It doesn't bother me one bit. He can talk about my RV all he wants. But you're just wrong. I don't hate Alabama. Why do you think I hate? What makes you think I hate Alabama? If anything, I was making the point earlier why the game against Georgia was not nearly as bad as everybody thinks that it actually was. Once again, they're not really paying attention to the game. They're just looking at the score, and they don't realize that, again, you should just take the last touchdown right off the board because that was just stupid. That was Kalen DeBoer, like Jesse said, spazzing out. That's what he did. So you can take that off. And then when you take the two touchdown passes, what's that?
He was seeing ghosts too. He's just like Ty. He's seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you point?
If they had two touchdown passes that hit receivers in the hands and they dropped them, and you got put two touchdowns on the board, take one off. Where does that put us? Tied, right? So that could have easily been a case. And they didn't have Cuevas, who might be back in 2 weeks.
Are you talking about how I look, how Killebreeze looks, and all that stuff, why don't you come on here live, man? When we provide that opportunity for everybody, let's see what you look like. You got blue hair, purple hair, blue, purple, and yellow hair.
He's not.
You one of those kind of people? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you are from Austin now, so I'm just making sure. I mean, if you're liberal, you probably don't want to come on here.
Something tells me
probably lose your bowels, but
something tells me this cat is posing, man. I don't think he's an Austin guy. I don't think he's a Texas guy. I'm not feeling the. He's something else. But yeah, why don't you join us? Come join us, burnt toast.
The Notre Dame guy wasn't afraid to come in here and defend his team, even though he was wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's nothing wrong with you not knowing what you're talking about. We're just trying to educate you, man. Trying to help you out, man. We don't want you to go through life thinking that Texas has won that bunch of national titles when they haven't. Y'all ain't even started on your second hand yet, man.
We can go
shut the hell up.
We can go through the merits if you'd like. That's fine by me.
They got 4 legits. What they got? They ain't even halfway to. They're barely halfway to Oklahoma, man. Oklahoma got 60%.
They know what's up.
40%, maybe 45% more national titles.
They know what's up. They know what's up. They know. They know.
Not to mention, man, I mean, it took y'all almost a damn decade to beat them in softball. Y'all finally won one in softball last year, but it took you damn 15 years to do it. Even your women suck.
That'll be
short-lived. Literally and figuratively.
That'll be short-lived. Big Train, where is Justin from Notre Dame? I don't know, Big Train. I was wondering the same thing. I was going to give him props on his Western Michigan.
He's probably overlooking a bridge in South Bend somewhere.
He's not happy. Justin is not happy tonight.
To be honest, I wouldn't be happy either if I was Notre Dame. Because, like those guys were saying, although they were being uneducated about it, not realizing that those guys got a automatic bid, James Madison, Tulane, this is a year that the G5 did not earn a spot. In the past, you could say, man, the G5's getting shafted. Boise State's number 5. But that ain't this year ain't that year. And, yes, Notre Dame should have been in the playoffs over James Madison, if that makes you feel any better. Y'all are better than James Madison.
100%. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, again, you know.
You don't want to brought it up, bitch.
Texas has a legit argument to want to be in. It's a weak one. The 3 losses is too hard to overcome, but I will give them the fact that 3 top 10 wins is hard to, you know, that's some damn good data points, to use the common vernacular these days. I love it how year to year it's different phrases. Right now it's data points. Oh, it's data points. Okay. Well, they do. They've got some great data points. But they also have 3 losses. But again, the point is fair. If we're just talking about the top 12, the best 12 teams, which really, what the F are we doing if we're not talking about that? Then Notre Dame should be in. No doubt. You know?
Big Train Kiffin says G5 needs their own playoff. I mean, they used to have that back in the day. It's called the 1AA playoffs, and they done away with that and started naming it stupid-ass acronyms, try to trip you up, just like these stupid-ass conference names. You got the ACC and the AAC. Then you have the Big 12 and the Big 10. Who's really big? Come on, man. Y'all come up with some more original names, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
And as you can see right here, I put the link in here. If anybody wants to join in, if you come in here and start acting spastic and act like you're about to lose your shit and have a coronary, we will gong your ass. I don't know if y'all have ever watched the Gong Show, but we will gong the hell out of you. You better come in here and bring some substance.
We're gonna do it like a call-in show. You guys can come in. We'll do audio and make a good point.
We're gonna start limiting your time, though. We're gonna catch
bring
you
a good take or get gonged out. Bring a good Jesse. Give me a little gong. Give me a little gong action.
If you get can't remember what I was saying. I wish I had the gong sound from that show. The gong sound from that show is really good. makes you feel like you're a dumbass on the actual show. I'm gonna look for that shit.
That's right. That's right. Calvin, there he is. Wait, no, they're lame, fighting Irish, are highly upset. Yeah, they're not happy. I went into a live stream and all I said was join a conference and I immediately got blocked.
You know why?
It was hilarious.
It's because it's too common sense, man. It makes too much sense to join a conference to keep yourself from being screwed. See, if they was in a conference, they'd have brethren in the room with them to back them up, but they don't have anybody, man.
Well, they act like they're too good for it. It's good enough to have their other teams play in the ACC, but they can't play football in the ACC. And ironically, if they did play football in the ACC this year, then they're probably in as the ACC conference champion, you know. But this year, all of that elitism that they're known for in a lot of ways, it bit them this year. Every other year so far since we've instituted the playoff, it has helped them out. It's been annoying the hell out of me. They're always in the mix just because they're Notre Dame. And this year they didn't get that benefit. They didn't get it. You know, if anything, it's still way lopsided. That's happened. They've gotten the benefit of the doubt way more than they didn't.
They got 1989 M says that we need you got the prices wrong bitch sound from the Water Boy when he's fighting Bob Barker.
I love that. Yeah.
I'm fixing to show y'all something. I'm pasting this right now. I'm putting it in the chat right there. You see the link. You click on that and you can come in here. We might have a time limit. We might start doing time limits for 5 minutes. But if you have a good call, just like my buddy Ryan Fowler at Tide 100.9, we'll let you go up to 10 minutes, maybe if it's a good one.
Bring a good take. If you disagree with us, especially, bring a good take. Don't be afraid. Big Train knows what I'm talking about. And Mike said, what did Mike? I saw Mike had a JMU, yes. JMU is a 21. I thought they were a 21.5 point underdog against Oregon. Nobody wants to watch that game. And here's the other thing they screwed up. They've got Oklahoma, Alabama as a Friday night game. That's fine. But don't you think that clearly the best time slots are the Saturday night game should be the best game. The Friday night game should be the second to best game, in my opinion. Then the morning game on Saturday is the worst, and then the afternoon game, second to worst. And they got OU and Alabama Friday, which, again, is fine. I think it's pretty good. But then they've got Miami, Texas A&M as the morning game, and they've got Oregon, JMU as the night game. Who the hell wants to watch Oregon and James Madison at all, much less prime time Saturday night?
You can reverse this. Calvin says Alabama has a path through Oklahoma and through Indiana. But you can also flip that. Oklahoma would have a path too. I think the extra time off, the extra time off from Mature may help Oklahoma.
Honestly, I think I'd rather play Texas Tech over Indiana. So I think probably the route through Texas Tech is easier. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not sold on Indiana being a whole lot different than Texas Tech.
I'm not sold on any of those teams except for Georgia.
Yeah.
The bias.
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now, Georgia's probably, Georgia didn't look great against Georgia Tech, though. It's just like you said, Alabama. It's a little misleading. It's a little bit misleading with what Alabama happened to Alabama and Georgia. It's not like Georgia dominated us offensively because we only give up 200 and something yards total offense.
Yep. So, no, that's a fact, man.
We just got to start hanging on to the ball, man. That's going to screw anybody.
I think Alabama, for some reason, was just not. They walked into that game. They looked rattled from the start. That's why I think you saw receivers dropping balls and Ty Simpson off on some passes that he's normally not off on and making some strange decisions. I just think they were just out of sorts, and including DeBoer, who's who's clearly does the cutesy fourth down thing a lot. But I mean, to go for it on fourth down from your own 15-yard line when you're down 2 touchdowns and in the fourth quarter already, like, what in the hell are you doing, man?
Well, I could understand if there was 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the game.
Right.
But
That's different.
There's 8 minutes left. Georgia's not going to feel sorry for you and kneel on the ball at that point because there's still a lot of time left. They're going to score on you and make it look worse, and that could get you knocked out of the playoffs because you lost by 21 points.
But if you punt the ball and flip the field, Georgia is not going to be aggressive on offense. They're going to run the football.
And they hadn't been driving on your defense all night long.
Right. So again, hey man, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I will never change on this. I would much rather have a team that wins ugly based on great defense than have a flashy, Ferrari that Lincoln Riley was known to have, but have no goddamn. Excuse me, trying not to curse, like not trying to take the Lord's name in vain anymore, but to have no defense at all and just have to outscore everyone. It's like it's terrible, man. Even when you win, it never feels good to win 54-50. It's awful. It doesn't feel good at all. So I'll take my chances winning on defense and special teams. As long as I got an offense that can move the ball, maybe they're not great, but they can move the ball. I'll take it.
It's happened many times in the past. 1992, Alabama won their national title on defense. 2000, Oklahoma won their title on defense. And then I think the Baltimore Ravens one year won a Super Bowl with a stellar defense.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, they had – who was their quarterback then? Flacco?
Trent Dilfer.
Or Dilfer?
Dilfer was the one. Dilfer was the one that when they had that all-time great defense that was comparable to the '85 Bears, and Trent Dilfer was their quarterback, if I remember correctly. Or was Dilfer the quarterback at Tampa when they had a great defense? Maybe I'm getting Dilfer. Maybe
I thought it was Joe Flacco.
It might have been, man. It might have been.
They were still a middle of the road quarterback.
Big Train, I bet you Big Train knows this. The first Super Bowl that they won in Baltimore based on that defense, because their offense was not great.
No.
Who was the quarterback?
Was Ray Lewis on that defense?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, murdering ass Ray Lewis.
Yeah, they had Ray. It was Trent. Yeah, okay. They had Ray Lewis. They had the guy from Pittsburgh, Woodson, was on that team for a while. That was before they had Ed Reed. Right, Big Train. That was before they had Ed Reed. They had like Woodson and Ray Lewis, and that was before they had the kid from.
So Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
And guess who don't have one? Dan Marino. So all that passing yards. I mean, he's great. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that never won a Super Bowl. I feel bad for him. I like Marino.
Absolutely.
But Miami just didn't have great defenses to go around him, I guess, because they never could get that Super Bowl.
No, man. It was man, Dan Marino was ahead of his time too. He was awesome. I mean, he was really awesome. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need defense. I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, people are giving Bama and Oklahoma grief because their offenses aren't playing, great. But it's just like, what is the phrase we all know? Offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Like, that hasn't changed, man. I promise you, that has not changed. And whether you think it or not, both Oklahoma and Alabama can move the ball. That's just a fact. Are they as good? Are they the best offenses in the country? No, not by a long shot. But
Loft Deontay 1993 says, if I'm FSU and Clemson, I'm doing whatever I can to get out of this joke of a conference. Well, I mean, someone's got to lose, man. If you come over here to the SEC, that doesn't mean things are going to be a lot better for you. I mean, ask Arkansas and South Carolina and Texas A&M and Missouri. Middle of the road teams that come in thought they was going to be better.
Yep.
Especially Arkansas. Arkansas used to be a powerhouse in the Southwest.
Yep.
Florida State and Clemson have won national titles in the past, but I don't think it's like Texas and Oklahoma who had multiple titles. That's why Texas and Oklahoma have come in and competed a lot quicker because they've been there before.
Well, that was the funny. That was what it was always funny to me. Like to act like Oklahoma is not used to big time games, big time players, big time moments. Like, are you kidding, man?
It's
Our
only
history
because
is
the Big
riddled with
12. It's only because the Big 12 fell off a little bit in the 2010s. But
Yeah,
before that,
that's
it was a pretty damn. It was a hell of a conference before 2010.
It was, yeah, so I was just about to say, man, if you go back and look at the late 90s and early aughts, like the Big 12 conference was stout. But it became a finesse conference. You know, when Nebraska left and A&M left, it just morphed into this just finesse, all offense, terrible defense, or just non-existent defense. Or maybe it was just, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It just seems like to me, good defense always trumps good offense. It seems like that's always been the case.
Triton Labach says there are no easy gimme weeks in the SEC like the Big 12. There ain't. I mean, we don't have a real bottom feeder anymore. Mississippi State should have beat Texas. They did beat Arizona State, who was ranked. The ACC, they had to put in a team that wasn't even their conference champion. So without Miami, the ACC gets left out. So there's no easy one. So if Florida State and Clemson come in here, that doesn't mean that you're going to start winning national titles. It's probably going to be harder. You're probably better off staying in the ACC, like the great Bobby Bowden tried to tell y'all when he joined the ACC. You better stay right over there. You better stay in your lane over there and try to make your conference great again. You need to MAGA that shit. You need to MAGA the ACC and try to make them great again. Well, they ain't never been really great in football anyway, but at least in basketball. Y'all suck in basketball too, man. ACC sucks in basketball. The SEC done beat y'all 2 years in a row in the basketball challenge.
Well,
2
man,
years in a row, the SEC has dominated the ACC in basketball.
That's what I was just about to say. And then there's no question of who dominates in baseball. So when you think about it, I mean, the SEC dominates in the three major sports. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn lacrosse or no effing.
They dominate in softball too.
And we dominate in softball, which
thanks to Oklahoma and Texas, we got softball powers now.
And we're pretty damn good in women's basketball too. So, like it's just not. And track and field, get out of here, man.
Gymnastics,
yeah.
Alabama's won 6 national titles in gymnastics. Oklahoma's won a few.
Yeah, dude, it's not even close. LSU dominated in track and field for years and years and years.
They always try to say that teams like Alabama and Oklahoma one-trick ponies, and we won national titles in numerous sports. We even won them in tennis and golf. National titles.
Yeah. So when you compare the conferences kind of across the board, and again, it's no secret when you come down into this region of the country, just like the saying of the SEC, it's true. It matters more down here, man. People care about it more. Whereas you get out to these schools out on the West Coast and in the Midwest and then out on the East Coast, the academics part is way more important.
Look, man, and like Richard Young says, we're even better at bass fishing than y'all.
Oh, so, that's a fact.
It's not our fault that you got crappy ass lakes in Clemson. Yeah, Clemson, what they are, man, they're just like Auburn on a lake. They're a bunch of barn monkeys out there swimming in a lake.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, so, it's just what it is. I mean, again, you look at the SEC now, like how many bottom? I mean, when you look at bottom feeders, like think about what a bottom feeder in the SEC really is. Like Mississippi State's a bottom feeder, but I'll put Mississippi State up against anyone in the Big 12.
Mississippi State, check this out. Mississippi State beat the team that beat Texas Tech. Arizona State beat Texas Tech.
There you go.
Mississippi State would be the third best team in the Big 12, probably.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll put and on any given Saturday, they can beat any team in the Big 12. Any single one of them, man. There's no question about that. So you just can't, again, the argument is, is not that the Big Ten doesn't have legit programs that could compete in the SEC. There are a couple of them that, Ohio State's going to be okay in the SEC. That wouldn't change. But Purdue and flipping Rutgers and Minnesota and Wisconsin and Northwestern, Maryland's ACC. Give me a break, man. Those teams ain't doing jack in the SEC.
I know this is probably going to break your heart and hurt your feelings, but Thunder OU Center said that Oklahoma doesn't have any diving championships. Now, that's all Texas. They like to jump in the water and make their penis shrink up or whatever they do. They jump in that cold water. That's their thing, man. They're swimming champions. One of their recruits was down there. I think it was an Oklahoma recruit that ended up going to Oklahoma. He made fun of that. And he's like, they went and they took him on a tour and showed him a bunch of swimming titles. Well, what's that got to do with football, man? You know how to dog paddle. You know how to dog paddle a little bit faster than everybody else. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's great. It's great being in the SEC now.
Texas long tadpoles swimming around out there in that damn water.
It's great being in the SEC now, man. Growing up in Louisiana.
Obviously, Burnt Toast don't think so. He was propping up the Big Ten. Y'all can join the Big Ten if you want, man. I'm sure Texas A&M be glad to see y'all leave because y'all emasculate the hell out of them.
Oh, Texas A&M would throw a party if Texas would go to the Big Ten.
A&M was talking about going to the Big Ten just to get away from y'all, man.
I mean, truthfully, Texas probably is more suited for the Big Ten. In terms of like the fan base and kind of how they're much more like Michigan than they are like, Alabama or LSU.
1989 them likes their new nickname we give them, the Texas Tadpoles. Like a little green sperm out there swimming around in the water, man. What's that jackass that claimed he was a woman that Riley Gaines grilled the hell out of him? Huh?
The swimmer from Yale or whatever?
Leah Thomas, yeah. I bet Leah Thomas could probably get an NIL deal from Texas.
No doubt.
A bunch of queer
100%.
steers. Bunch of steer
100%.
queers down there.
That's
what you should. Hey, that's what you should be worried about, Burnt Toast. You need to make sure that you don't let that swimming dynasty slip. You need to go get an NIL deal for Leah Thomas and see how that works out for you.
Yeah, they would celebrate it for sure. No doubt about it. Nitro 985, this OU team is only slightly better QB and slightly better OC from winning a championship. I would agree.
It sounds like Alabama, right? They sound similar.
They're very similar. I had Bevo on the smoker last weekend. Yeah, Bevo's not good eating. Man. He's tough and nasty. Just gross.
Yeah, I wanted to go with a cow instead of one of them longhorns.
You just send Bevo to the slaughterhouse and get his nasty ass out of there. We've been going a while tonight, so who we got winning Bama versus OU? Well, I mean, like I've said earlier, it's hard to beat the same team twice in the same year. Obviously, Oklahoma playing at home, that helps. But I don't know, man. Could easily go either way. Alabama's actually favored in the game. Alabama's a 1.5-point favorite.
Woohoo! That really makes me feel not better. You bastard.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I'm
Alabama is.
saying. Let's just throw JPC on the grill too. Let's pretend like we don't. Let's pretend like we're not trying to rub it in, but we are.
I've never done that to you, and I never would.
But that comment you're talking about come from Lance Fleury. I like to give everybody a shout out.
Now, see, Burnt Toast, I thought we were getting along, and then you go and say something stupid like this. OU and Bama ain't going past the next win. You got to be kidding me, man. You honestly think neither Oklahoma or Alabama has a chance of beating Indiana? Really?
Well, I can promise you this. Oklahoma and Alabama, one of the two is going to make it further than you. I mean, unless they allow the Citrus Bowl to be a playing game.
Not just further.
Comes down and says, here's an executive order. We're going to make the Citrus Bowl a playing game. But you know what? You'll probably lose to Michigan. And you won't go anyway. Then you'll bitch about that. Let us play in the Independence Bowl so we can play in through the Independence Bowl.
Man, that would be some funny ass shit if Texas loses to Michigan. That would be funny.
Serious question, though. How banged up is Jam Miller? That's really going to tell the tale. Can Ty win? You know, Jam Miller ain't really been that great all year.
I was about to say, I don't even think Jam is their best back, though, man.
It's probably Daniel Hill.
Yeah.
And they need to play that A.K. Deer guy a little bit more. He's really fast. He just can't pass block. So that's why A.K. Deer ain't been playing.
Hill is number 4, right?
Yeah.
Hill is number 4, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not a great receiver sometimes out of the backfield, but he can.
He's a big son of a bitch.
He can run your ass over if he gets a steam going.
Yeah, he's big, man. He's a big ass back.
Will y'all get our Mason Thomas back? I'm not sure.
Brent was asked about that today, and he doesn't know.
It really don't matter because Oklahoma beat us without him.
I got to be honest with you. I think it's going to be unlikely that he plays. The injury that he had is a soft tissue injury, and they just don't heal quickly, you know? And the reality is it's probably something that takes more like a couple of months, like a full off season to really heal something like that. I'm dealing with one of those injuries right now. It's annoying as hell. It just won't go away unless you just give it rest.
See, I knew it was backed up. I knew that might be part of the problem. Mitch Lemons just said it. Toast doesn't know any females. This is his high point. He's probably one of Steve Lee's groupies. I saw Steve in here earlier. Maybe we could make a love connection in here. Maybe get Burnt Toast and Steve Lee's. You could do a little, Texas on Oklahoma booty busting. Ride that steer like a queer.
Little cow tipping.
Yeah. Those
Texas has
might be interesting.
Texas, yes, Thunder, that's correct. Texas has no business being in the playoffs. I didn't see anyone really making a hard case for them, to be honest with you.
No, Texas ain't gonna get in the playoffs. Like I said, unless Donald Trump comes down and invokes an executive order like Diego Pavia was asking him to do and making a 16-team playoff, then Texas would be in. That would solve everything this year. I think it would have really solved everything if there were 16 teams.
Yeah, well, I think, the more that the more that you look at it, if you had the top 16 this year, there'd be no gripes. I mean, of course, whoever was 17th or 18th would gripe, but it wouldn't matter. Nobody really thinks who's currently ranked number 17 and 18 in the college football playoff rankings. Let's take a look and see.
We'll pray for you, 1989. Emmy says she's a soft tissue injury in the center of my chest. I'm 36. It's been the fight of my life dealing with the scrap it has come with. Prayers up to you, killer. What's he talking about there?
Oh, no, I was just talking about how I've been dealing with a soft tissue injury. He's talking about dealing with the same thing. Let's see.
Well, what about a chapped ass? Is there anything for a chapped ass injury? Because it seems like the Texas fans have a huge chapped ass tissue injury.
That's a fact. What was I?
We won them swimming titles You better recognize that shit now.
What was I even looking at here in the rankings?
I didn't even know steers could swim, man. Can
Yeah.
steers actually swim, or they just
Yeah.
walk through the water because they're so damn big?
Yeah, I don't think they. I think they can swim a little, maybe, but I don't think they last very long in the water.
Mike Hall says he thinks Toast secretly wants to get clapped.
Okay.
We got the guy in there for that. We got the guy for the job. Steve Lees, where you at? Someone needs to be clapping. Someone needs to be clapping on the booty.
The rankings right now, the top 16 would include obviously Notre Dame and BYU at 11 and 12, Texas, Vanderbilt, Utah would actually make it, and those Skittle shitters of USC. The only team that would really get left out, and they don't have a real argument, would be Michigan. That's the only real big name that's not in there, and Michigan doesn't have an argument to be in the playoff. You know, so if you made it to top 16 and again, just get rid of the damn committee. Just go back to the BCS or some cumulative ranking system where you do a bunch of polls, and that's basically what the BCS was. And so just go back to that.
Alabama is favored outcast. How much you want to bet on this game? And of course, he steals one.
Steve Lees is in the house. Jesus,
I told you, I saw him, man.
Shall arrive.
I told you, man. He was lurking, man. He's in there stroking. He's in there peeling his tater. Look, he called me pudding, man. He's using my catchphrases again. He knows. He knows he got a man crush. He knows it. He got one, man. It's okay, man. If I was gay, I'd like me too. It's all right. You want to bet on the game?
So
what you
aggressive.
Just a straight up bet. What do you want to bet, man? Don't be coming here saying stupid shit either that people do. I'll bet you $5,000. Knowing damn good and well nobody gonna bet your ass no $5,000 because you ain't got $5,000 to give away, and neither do I. So I'll give you $20 through Cash App if Oklahoma beats Alabama. And if Alabama beats Oklahoma, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. I want you to come on here live. If Alabama beats Oklahoma, get your ass on here live. And I ain't talking about Notre Dame behind the J logo. I'm talking about your face. I want to see your face, man, when Alabama beats Oklahoma.
Now we're talking.
And I got the screenshot up here. I got the screenshot. You called for this bet, so don't be like that Texas jackass that made a bet on needy children and then nig on it. Whatever his name was. What's that jackass's name?
Jeff Ketchum, gross, stupid, fat, ugly mother. Yeah. You know what?
Jeff Ketchum ass couldn't make he made a bet that he couldn't pay, and now all of a sudden, we're gonna do what's it called?
The babies.
That's right.
The babies.
Well, what's that he done? He set up a GoFundMe. He's begging for money to pay a bet that he made. Is that the way you're going to be, Steve Lees? Are you going to start a GoFundMe to get that $20?
Now we got a Hook'em fan in the house. He's crawling out of the woodworks, wanting to bet $20. Both teams are going to have. Okay, I'll take that bet. $20. I bet both teams do not have negative rushing yards. $20. I took the bet. I'm taking the bet. Everybody sees it. Witness. Here's my handshake. Here's my handshake. Here it is. I shake your hand.
Put it up here.
Here. No, you got to go down. Yeah, down. I shake your hand. $20.
He ain't going to pay it. They're not going to pay it, man. They're not going to pay that shit. They're not going to do it. I got them screenshotted, though. They'll probably never be back in here again. But
I will actually.
There are some Texas fans that I do like, man. All kidding aside, Kilbree, he knows some good Texas people he's related to. But look, man, you got one of your jackasses in here talking all sorts of crazy, stupid shit that has no relevancy and it means nothing, but it just reeks of butt hurt. and we're just trying to educate him, man. You know, just because you didn't make the playoffs, you can always look forward to that swimming championship. You know, y'all can go get Leah Thomas and give it. It's not a her. Give it an NIL deal.
Some of my first of all, my brother.
See, there's the stupidity right there. I bet $5,000 Alabama beats Oklahoma.
That's just dumb.
There you go.
My
chimed
brother
right in for the idiocy. Go ahead.
Yeah, my brother married into a whole family full of Longhorns, and they're all awesome people. So there's definitely great Longhorn fans out there. That's not the point. The point is their jackass fans are just some of the worst people on the planet, including the babies, Jeff Ketchum.
That's right. That was sort of cringy.
Babies.
I was cringing on that, man. He sounded like he was enjoying it a little too much. Like, man, if I was y'all, even the Texas fans out there, don't, man. Don't bring your kids around Jeff Ketchum. I wouldn't suggest that, man. I'm not going to say what I want to say because he's probably watching and he'll probably tattle on me and try to get me banned or something like he did on a canoe because he's a pudding.
It's
big
a
old
bad
pudding,
idea.
big old pudding pop. He likes to get one of them Jello pudding pops from Bill Cosby and molest himself.
Texas is a 3-loss regular season flop. Got belt to ass by Florida. Well, you know, when you get it right, you get it right.
You smoking Pall Malls? You smoke Pall Malls?
I have never smoked a Pall Mall in my life.
He's bringing that shit up. I bet he smokes Pall Malls.
Now, my father smoked Pall Malls. My dad smoked 2 packs of Pall Malls a day, unfiltered cigarettes.
I bet he smokes poles. I think that's what he smokes.
Big, thick ones.
Rope sucker. Rope sucker. Now you're going to get Steve Horny in here, man.
BRB.
Look at that shit, man. You're going to make Steve Horny talking about rope suckers.
BRB 5506 says Notre Dame is throwing a tantrum. Yes, we were talking about that. Trying to blackmail college football to get its way.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
They always hide behind that Catholicism, too. They can say what they want to, but they use that religion to try to get their way.
Definitely. And yes, Stasis to go.
Nothing against Catholics, but tell Notre Dame to quit hiding behind your skirt. Just saying.
Yeah. And quit acting like you're better than the rest of the league. Get in a conference and earn your way in. It's as simple as that. Or handle your business in the beginning of the year. If you'd have handled your business and it just won one of those games of the 2 that you lost, you'd be in. And one of those games was at home, by the way.
Just don't. I don't know what else to tell them, man. They just want to go to 16. But when you go to 16, then you're going to have 17 and 18 bitching.
Yeah, you will.
Stop. It's never going to stop, man.
You will. It'll always be a thing. I think the biggest problem is whatever the number of teams in the draw is, you just have to send the top ranked teams of that number. You know,
we know they're never going to do it.
Got to go away.
They're never going to do it. But the shit that you said at the beginning of the show is pretty much summarizes how you could solve all this shit. Common sense. Just put the best teams in, man.
Yeah, man.
Stop with the automatic qualifier shit and bring back the BCS. And if you want a human element, fine, they can be a part of the equation. 75% goes to the BCS, 25% goes to the committee.
Yeah. And I mean, really, I think you just need to take the human element out of it. And that would be my wish. I don't because again, man, like that's the whole, like, just take it out. It just eliminates all bias. You know what the formula is. It is what it is. And then at that point, it's just math. It's just doing math. You know, that's all it is. And it is what it is. And you remember back in the day with the BCS, if you had a team that kicked ass all year long, you built a certain cushion into your ranking. and it protected you against losses. So it will cut. So you'll be, So it, in my opinion, it was the best so far out of everything we've tried. It was the best way to do it.
Right. It's better than the poll era. And
Yes.
it's better than what we got now. The
Yes.
in between is where you had it right. The only reason that people bitch is because the BCS only had 2 teams to pick from. If you give the BCS 4 teams and now 12, it's probably going to get it right most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's way better than the poll era. I mean, remember how many times did we end the year where you'd have a bowl game where we wished it was teams playing each other, like the best teams playing instead of, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 playing automatically in the Rose Bowl and all of that. The BCS was clearly better than that. And the biggest problem with the BCS was that it was only 2 teams. I mean, that's tough. So, if you push that out, and again, that's even more of an argument to go to 16, because the more teams that you include in it, the more accurate it's going to be in terms of getting the best in.
Yeah, and you can do away with the conference title games that have
Absolutely
been very much a hindrance to Alabama and Georgia and teams like that. It's messed Georgia up a couple of years. I mean, I think they caught a couple of injuries in that game against Alabama. So luckily they're off for a little while. They can heal up. But if they hadn't, I mean, they could be going into a first-round game on the road somewhere and be banged up. Calvin Glover says, I wonder how the players feel at Notre Dame if they don't get a bowl game. Seems kind of messed up to refuse it. I think they voted on it. I think the players voted that they didn't want to go.
You could really even –
But Notre Dame is not fulfilling their obligation to the ACC because they're supposed to take that bowl bid because that's a part of their agreement with the ACC.
Yeah.
Even though they're independent. We're independent. Only in one sport.
It's kind of
call
ridiculous.
us a one-trick. Call us a one-trick pony. Looks like y'all the one-trick pony. How's Notre Dame doing in basketball, by the way? Just curious. They're like 4-8 or some shit. They lose to damn Monmouth, New Jersey, or some shit the other day.
Every once in a while, they get a decent basketball team. Their ladies team is usually pretty good.
Starbucks Lori's in the house. What's up, Starbucks?
Lori doesn't F around.
I almost said something else. I almost rhymed your name with another word, but I figured that would be that nice. It would be spelled Hori.
Oh, little Lori. What are you doing tonight, Lori? You chilling? Are you happy that Oklahoma's in the playoff?
You ain't got to worry about running off none of the females next. We ain't got none in here but her.
That's true. That's true. Tennis girl isn't in here, and man, it's been a long time since we've had what was her name? Who was the girl that was coming into all of our softball live streams? Who was that again?
I can't remember her name now, man, but she was pretty good. She knew that shit.
She
By the way,
knew
speaking of softball, softball was a very big success last year for us. And so we'll probably be doing some softball live streams, just so y'all know.
Crystal. Her name was Crystal something.
That's right, Crystal.
BYU didn't deserve to be in either. That's right, Patrick. BYU got blown out by Texas Tech twice. BYU scored on the first possession of the game, and then they never scored again. And Texas Tech kind of easily had their way with them. So, yeah, BYU, again, just doesn't have an argument to be. They just,
How many teams opted out of bowl games? I'm not sure about that. I think a couple did, maybe. I know Notre Dame did. They were the first one to wet their diapers, throw a tantrum. And they would have probably went to a nice-ass bowl, too. And it would have been a nice trip.
It's so weak, man. It's just such a bad look, in my opinion, man. That's just
That's the ACC. It's like they said, like it might have been you or somebody else was saying that people in these Power 4 conferences should just stop scheduling Notre Dame, and that way their ass would have to join the conference.
Yeah,
just don't schedule them.
I mean, they. Then again, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, they're always going to have their own little special, consideration. And it's such horseshit.
Kansas State opted out. Iowa State also opted out, says Donald Palal. Big Train Kiffin said Kansas State opted out. I was under the impression that if there wasn't enough teams that had a winning record, that Auburn was first in line to get one of those bids, but it looks like it was Mississippi State. Is Mississippi State 5-7 or 6?
Oh, that's what I meant to. That's what I was trying to look up. Damn, I totally forgot what I was doing. Hold on a second, I'll tell you.
Do you know Big Cajones Kelly, the poster formerly known as Big Cajones Kelly?
Okay, SEC. Let's
5-7. Richard Young says 5-7. Auburn might have turned it down, and Mississippi State was the next in line.
They sure are 5-7. Okay.
Yeah, and they got in the bowl game.
Yeah.
So Auburn must have turned it down, and Mississippi State took it. Well, I don't know. You still got that Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's two teams coming to the Birmingham Bowl.
The funny thing is, Auburn's the one that ended the Birmingham thing with Alabama, where it was like half and half, sort of like the Red River rivalry. Back in the day, in the 80s up until the 1980s, they played the game in Birmingham every year, and it was half and half like the Red River rivalry. Well, Auburn done away with that shit. They said Birmingham was too close to Tuscaloosa, and they said they would never play in Birmingham again. And yet they did, because they played Memphis in the Birmingham Bowl about 5 years ago, because they ain't went to a bowl in 5 years. So they might be in the Birmingham Bowl again.
Well, that'd be all right.
And whoever they're playing, I'm gonna buy their hat. They're probably playing someone like Northern Illinois or some shit, and I'm gonna get me a Northern Illinois hat, and I'm gonna go to the game and root against them.
Jackson Arnold enters the transfer portal.
Damn, again?
Yeah.
Does he think he's on tour or something? He think he's the damn the Rolling Stones or some shit?
Oh wow.
On a tour or something? What's he doing, man? I mean, is he like on a last tour of Motley Crue or some shit? The Jackson Arnold tour.
That is
Brought to you by Bosch and Long, because I'm a douche and so is my dad. We tried to strong arm Oklahoma and screwed him out of Dylan Gabriel, and then shit the bed and went to Auburn and shit the bed again. And now I'm gonna go to Fresno State and shit the bed again. Screw you, Jackson.
So actually, so it looks like here's the teams that are going after Jackson Arnold or are in the hunt. Mississippi State, which I said last time. Remember, that's what I was saying because Levy loved Arnold, and so Mississippi State, Oklahoma State, Old Dominion, and the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Woohoo! Could be
and UNLV.
Hey, but not only does he get, hey, whoever gets them, they ain't gonna be getting sloppy seconds. They're gonna be trifling thirds.
He's also UNLV with Dan Mullen. So
they're gonna get a used up whore for real, man. He's just whoring around. Though Jackson Arnold.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oklahoma State could be where he ends up because he's got some familiarity with Oklahoma, but also he's from the Dallas area, and North Texas's coach is now the coach at Oklahoma State.
He'll get benched again. He's just gonna get benched again. He's gonna play.
Maybe if he goes and plays for a G5 like Old Dominion.
Look, man, if he wants to play for the second best team in Oklahoma, it's not Oklahoma State, it's Tulsa.
Well, that's true.
Because we know Tulsa whooped their ass this year. I didn't even go as far to say maybe he should play for Northeast Oklahoma Junior College or some shit.
But man, think about this. This is a fair question too for Jackson Arnold. I mean, we know what kind of a train wreck was going on at Oklahoma. It was their first year in the SEC. They were just horrible, in terms of the injuries to the wide receivers and the offensive line. And then he goes to Auburn, and Hugh Freeze is a freaking train wreck too. You know,
Hugh Freeze wasn't even trying. I think he was going for the buyout. I think he pulled a Jimbo Fisher.
maybe. So maybe Jackson Arnold can still be good. I can't believe I'm saying that, but maybe
He might. He needs to go to an FCS school or something. He might be all right.
I think Levy. But the problem is, I think that quarterback that Levy had this year, I don't think he's a senior. So I can't imagine Jackson's going to go somewhere else to sit the bench.
All right, brother. I think I'm going to get up out of here. It's almost 8 o'clock.
All right, man. I had fun, man. It's always fun. Appreciate everybody in the chat tonight, even you, Burnt Toast. We'll
Just
see
so
all
Burnt
y'all.
Toast knows, so that he don't forget. You need to let him know who's in the playoff and who's not before you go.
Well, that would be the Crimson Nations. You will be watching the Crimson Nations on your couch, Burnt. All right, man. I'll be in touch.
All right. I'll check you later, brother.
Later, man.
That was Killer Breeze, the consummate Oklahoma Roughneck. And before I get out of here, I'd like to also ask you guys and gals if you want to donate to the program. It's money $sign JPC316 as well as JPC316 on Venmo. And as far as Burnt Toast and all the other Texas long turds out there, congratulations on your Citrus Bowl. That's a nice trip, actually. I wouldn't mind going to Disney World. I mean, if I knew that Alabama wasn't going to make the playoffs, that would be the bowl I'd want to go to. You said that you wanted me to buy Citrus Bowl tickets. Did you want me to go with you and try to console you if Michigan hands you your ass right there in front of Donald and Mickey and Minnie and all the other characters down there in Disney World? At least you're getting to go to Disney World, man, because y'all a bunch of clowns anyway. So it serves you right. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. The channel is Big Four, all absolutely free. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.